Wind's life was 2 steps away from being perfect. For instance, he's invisible, any element's dream. He was popular, wise, anyone's guess, but most importantly of all, he was a great companion. As time ticked by in the Skylands, Sun, who was a loyal and very close friend of Wind, kindly put up with the fact that Wind was silent, like either a rustle in the trees or a whistle in the calm summer breeze. On the other hand, there is Moon, who is a dull, spiteful, ugly, and jealous to everyone and everything around him. But above all, Wind. One particularly blistery grey day, Sun shone down to Wind as normal and spoke words that had been worrying her for some time. Well, I was thinking about Moon. I mean, as elements, we are powerful things, and I just didn't want you to get hurt, she explained. Laughing his silent laugh, Wind swooped up to a cloud right next to the temple. And created an artwork of Moon with a stupid expression on his face. Moon took one look at the cloud. Storming ever higher, Moon raced furiously like a raging bull up to Wind and hit him hard. But Wind, being Wind, Moon's hand went straight through. With fire in his eyes, Moon turned to face his now arch enemy and spoke very threatening words indeed. You, Wind, you will pay for this, Wind, and when you do, you'll be sorry. And when you do, you'll be sorry. He glared, madness creeping inch by inch and spreading across his face. A plot, he thought, stalking into the shadows. A plot is all I need. And with that, he vanished. Ding! Why did you do that? Squealed Sun, who was quite sentimental, loudly. You're a fool at times, you really are. Sun was so flustered, she wept back up to the Skyland. Meanwhile, back in the shadowy moors of Inklake, Moon, in order to have revenge, had hitched a plot which was sure to hurt or even kill Wind. It was the only way in Moon's opinion, even though it took 3 days and 3 nights to note every detail of the plot. Moon knew. It's his scheme must be the best or worst in Wind's and Sun's opinion of the plan of the century. Flying up to Wind with now a grin on his wicked face, Moon stared into Wind's pale eyes, fixing them, not moving them for an instant. Wind, my friend, you're a clever lad, but don't you ever long for the sound of your own voice or the sight of your own true body? Well, I can help you, he drawled, not waiting for an answer. You are nothing. Your voice and your body on the other side of the dark forest. Having longed for exactly what Moon just said for all his life, Wind, without hesitation, rapidly set off to the legendary, in a bad way, forest of darkness. Once outside the menace of the landmark, Wind who just remembered what Sun had once told him. Elements who enter don't come out the other side. Set foot cautiously into the gloom of the evil forest. While Wind was getting more nervous by the minute, the stench of the wood and the sight of the dampness everywhere was too much to bear. Eerie sounds rumbled from the undergrowth, sounded unhappily suspicious. Ghosts. All of a sudden, a strong blast of pain, which was being injected into Wind from many directions, seized Wind and made him at a complete standstill. The feel of the thorns was as sharp as knives and was so painful. Wind screamed and screamed, but wind is a silent element and no sound came out. Wailed Wind, surprised to hear his own voice for once. Continued Wind, desperately hoping for someone to hear him. Wind was panic-stricken. To Wind's utmost glee, the trees, which were misty grey and fitted in awkwardly with the wood around it, started to crinkle and suddenly burn. As Sun beamed into view through a crack in the trees. Hours later, Wind, who enjoyed every precious moment of being free, shot like a bullet up and out. And there started their heroic journey home. Everyone was waiting for them, except Moon. "Sorry everyone, but I must go," explained Sun, pushing her way through the crowd, who all wanted to hear how she had single-handedly freed Wind from the mortal peril-like danger. "Sorry!" As soon as Sun saw exactly who she wanted to see, she rushed over to him and began to scream, "You, Moon, are an element of darkness, and no more than a disgrace to the elements." While Sun bellowed more horrid insults, but true. Moon, who was pretty taken aback, cornered himself in a dark, crumbling corner. Space wind flying off of her in all directions. Sun, who was charging at Moon, spurted deadly, perilous lava, aiming perfectly and expertly. The lava, aiming perfectly at Moon, was oozing out like a cascading avalanche of molten metal. Sun was angry. "Believe me, Moon," Sun breathed. "With what you did, I will do this every month. In the night sky, you will disappear." Woo! Yay! Yay! Meanwhile, back at the temple, Wind felt gleeful once more. The love and hope filled the once worried faces. Now Wind's life was not 2 steps away from perfect, not even 1 step away from perfect. Wind's life was perfect. That is why the wind whistles when it blows through the trees, and why there is a new moon every month. Thank you for listening.